Hello, and welcome to Inventor's Quick Tips. In this episode, we will be talking about a good problem to have. You've been working through the patent process, and then you finally get a notice that you have allowable subject matter. And in this episode, we'll be reviewing just what that means and possible next steps. So first, what is allowable subject matter? The phrase allowable subject matter means that the examiner has determined that at least one of your claims is allowable as it is currently written. So that is good news. Now let's briefly cover objections versus rejections. Claims can be rejected, objected to, or both objected to and rejected. Rejections tend to be more substantive and include reasons that involve prior art, such as obviousness and anticipation. Objections can include punctuation, typos, and other wording issues that can usually be easily fixed. In situations where claims are only objected to and not rejected, they can usually be edited to get them into allowable form. So let's take a look at a sample office action. Usually on page 2 there is a section called Disposition of Claims. Here is a sample from an application. So we have 20 claims total, which is the typical number in an average application. It indicates that claims 18 to 20 are allowable as written. Claims 1 to 16 are currently rejected, meaning not allowable as they currently stand. Claim 17 is objected to, which means it is not allowable exactly as written, but probably can be made allowable with some edits. Typically, there is also a section at the end that summarizes what is allowable. Again, it shows claims 18 to 20 are allowable, and it indicates that claim 17 would be allowable if edited as instructed here. So let's summarize the good and bad news for this example. The good news is that some claims are allowable. As we saw in our example, claims 18, 19, and 20 are allowable, and claim 17 can be made allowable with basic edits, giving us 4 allowable claims. However, the bad news is a lot of the claims were not allowable. As we saw from the example, claims 1 to 16 are still rejected. So what options do we have in this case? It is certainly good to have allowable subject matter, but if you didn't get everything that you applied for, what are the options of what to do next? One option is to simply accept the allowable subject matter, sometimes with rearranging to maximize claim count. In many cases, we have the opportunity to have some of the allowed subject matter put into an independent claim to make that claim and one or more dependent claims underneath it allowable. This gives us a higher claim count. Recall in our example, we had 4 claims that were allowable, 17 through 20. If we do some reorganization, we may be able to have more claims in the issued patent. How many more claims depends on the specifics of the application, but this is a common practice that most professionals will do. Another option is to file a response to try and get more claims allowed. While this is within your rights, generally this is not recommended. When another response is filed, it basically tells the examiner to keep looking over everything, and then the examiner may find something that causes them to rescind the previous allowability. I have seen this happen. Sometimes a client insists on continuing to argue, and the examiner later decides, based on new things turned up in the examination, to rescind the allowable claims. The third approach includes accepting the allowable subject matter that we talked about with the first item in this list, and then filing a continuation application for the purposes of doing item 2, which is trying to get more claims allowed. This approach allows the first patent application to issue, and then arguments for additional claims are handled in the continuation application. This is the most common approach I've seen when an inventor gets some claims allowed, but not everything that he or she hoped for. And if you're wondering what continuation applications are, I have a few videos that discuss those, and I will put links to those in the description for this video. So basically, the approach of the third item is take what's given and then try to get more claims in a separate continuation application. So hopefully you found this information helpful. If so, please share, like, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.